As you might know, when you start Bright Line Eating, you stop dieting. And so I've got all this leftover food from when I used to eat paleo and keto. We got dates and coconut oil and lots of seeds and nuts that I don't eat anymore. I have an idea. Let's make some bird suets. We're gonna melt down some coconut oil and we're gonna stick all those beautiful seeds and nuts. I chopped up the dates and some raisins. We're gonna throw some tahini in there. I looked it up. Looks like sesame seeds are a beautiful thing for the birds. We're gonna add in some bird food from a bird snob store. I'm a little bit careful with bird seed because sometimes cheaper companies use seeds that have pesticides on them. It actually kills the birds. So buy your seed from reputable brands. This is a good quality mix as well as a cracked corn mix. Both are good for the birds for different reasons. This mix has some dried fruit in it and some shelled seeds and nuts. I'm also going to add in some frozen blueberries. There they go. Get them in there. Next, I'm just going to mix it up by hand. I learned the hard way last time that if you pour coconut oil over frozen blueberries, it becomes a solid brick. So we want to really mix those in so they can kind of disperse the coolness around. All right, now I've got my 10-year-old helper with the camera, so I apologize. We're just pouring in our coconut oil tahini mix, which is, use whatever you want, really. You can use lard too. And stir it up. I also switched to my hands pretty quickly in this because I was making a huge batch. Huge! Okay, let's put in the parchment paper, and this part's pretty straightforward. Thanks to the cool blueberries, the coconut oil is starting to solidify, which actually makes this process really easy. You're gonna smush it into the pan, and then you're gonna use a knife and you're gonna score it, which just means I'm actually cutting through all the way. Now, the first attempt here, I didn't like the size, and that's fine because it's sort of Play-Doh texture. You can just smush it back together and try again. So here I go, smushing the lines away, and I decided to make my chunks smaller. Spoiler alert, I totally could have made them bigger, but here we are. It's all good. So cut them in whatever sizes you want. Once you've cut it, you're gonna wanna stick it in your freezer, or in my case, we just use the outdoor freezer for, honestly, when it's really cold out, like 5 or 10 minutes. My saran wrap did not stay on. That's fine though, I did 2 sheets. These ones had several hours outside, so they're good and solid. So then we just take off the saran wrap, and these just break apart real easy. I'll show you. They just, like that. You just break them apart like that. They're a little crumbly, but that's okay. I just take all the crumbly bits at the end and smush them into one brick all on their own. So we're just gonna take some saran wrap, and we just wrap each piece individually. And that's just so they don't stick together in the freezer. It's sort of like putting hamburger patties together. You know how you have to use a knife to separate them? Except these are crumbly, so you want to be a little bit careful with them. And that's it. I had so many. This is probably gonna last us all winter with the size of batch I made. So with the size of batch I made here, I got about 52 suets, and we go through a lot of them. And how you use it is you just unwrap it and stick it in one of those little cagey things and hang it up in your tree. Enjoy!